I want to take another look this week at some tragic headlines just from this past weekend. We did this last week, and this is just a sad story. Weekend gun violence. From Friday through Monday, at least, as far as we can tell, 25 people were shot. In Ohio, 13 of them were killed. Here are just two of the cases, and some of the more they're all tragic, but these just are sickening. From WCMH in Columbus, police say pregnant teen's unborn baby killed after shooting in the Linden area. A pregnant 15-year-old girl was shot in the abdomen. She survived, but her baby, tragically, according to reports, a little baby boy, did not, and died just a few weeks before he would have been born. From Cleveland.com, 14-year-old boy dies after shooting in Lorraine Park, police say. The boy was found near a basketball court with multiple gunshot wounds Saturday night. He died Sunday. The man accused of killing the teen had been convicted of a violent felony in the past, meaning that obviously he was legally prohibited from having a gun, yet he had the gun nonetheless. According to the allegations, he had that gun anyway and used it against this child. Our legislation, pending today in the General Assembly, will go a long way to deal with this problem. And the problem is repeat violent offenders who have a gun. Our legislation would give our judges, would give our prosecutors, our police, a lot more ability to deal with these individuals and get them out of our communities. Cincinnati police shared some of their data with us regarding gun crimes committed by those legally prohibited from having a weapon. Over the past 3 months, in just 3 of their districts, nearly 24 people who are forbidden from carrying a gun because of their prior felony conviction were arrested for shooting or shooting at someone. And it's not just Cincinnati. This is happening all over the state. Here's another case in the headline this week. From the Akron Beacon Journal, Akron man wanted in 4 shootings in 3 states, arrested in South Dakota. This man was the target of a nationwide manhunt after alleged shootings in Ohio, West Virginia, and Indiana. 2 people died. The suspect, due to his criminal history, is legally prohibited from possessing a gun. As I've been saying for months, Ohio's law on illegal gun possession aren't tough enough. Right now, when someone who is prohibited from having a gun is found with a gun, it is often not considered a serious felony offense. So they frequently receive probation instead of jail time, and they go right back to the streets. Under our bill, it would become a second-degree felony, which is a more serious offense with a presumption of a prison sentence. The bottom line is this: those who illegally possess guns are oftentimes the ones who use them again. Ohio's failure to properly address felons who carry guns and use them to commit crimes allows these individuals to wreak havoc throughout our communities and stay in those communities. If we truly want to address the issue of gun violence in this state, we must deal with a small number of criminals who are willing to illegally use a gun to inflict harm on others. Our legislation would give judges better ability to sentence these offenders to prison and get them off the streets. This is a bill, and this particular provision in the bill is something that chiefs of police have been talking about for a long time. And notice I said it's a relatively small number of people. I think if you talk to your chief, if you live in a city, if you talk to your chief or talk to a police officer, they will tell you that the majority of the violent crime is committed by a relatively small number of the criminal element, and in large majority of these cases, these are people who have already committed felons. They've been told they're not allowed to have a gun. They can't have a gun, and yet they go ahead and commit the offense. So having the ability to find that person in possession of a gun before they commit an offense and get them off the streets and give the judge The discretion to sentence them for a significant period of time will save a lot of lives.